RSL. Well, as we've been hearing this morning, the opposition last-minute policy announcements because the party is desperate in the lead-up to the election. The government has promised $2 billion to build a railway line linking Parramatta to Epping. Less than a fortnight ago, the New South Wales Transport Minister John Robertson wrote a letter to Parramatta councillor Chiang Lim saying the project wasn't part of the state's 10-year transport plan. Liberal councillor and Deputy Lord Mayor Chiang Lim joins me now in the studio. Chiang Lim, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, you must have been pretty surprised when you heard this announcement from the Prime Minister the other day.
I was also quite pleased that actually that promise was made. However, on the same day, I received a letter from the Transport Minister saying that basically that this was not on the horizon. So while I'm pleased that this has been announced, I'm also skeptical. We've been promised this for 12 years. And so we're quite cautious about whether this is actually going to actually happen or not.
Anthony Albanese, the Transport Minister's explanation of this morning has been that the letter referred to projects that were funded by the state and not by the federal government. Is that a reasonable explanation as far as you're concerned?
The letter doesn't say that. All the letter basically says is it's not on the horizon, not on the 10-year forward estimates. Now, if it's not on the 10-year horizon, then when is it going to be? Now, all of a sudden, yesterday, this wonderful announcement basically is to commit ourselves to the building of this within 10 years, in fact, in 4 years' time. But that means it's 2 federal elections later and 1 state election, 3 elections before we actually possibly start this project.
But shouldn't you be happy for the people of your area that you are actually, this is on the horizon now?
We have been lobbying for this for 12 years. We all want it. But the question is really about, is this believable? Can we trust this latest promise from Labor? Whether it's federal Labor, state Labor, it's still Labor. The question is, can it be done? I hope it will be. And I hope whoever is in government will actually have this delivered.
Anthony Albanese this morning wasn't saying exactly when this decision was made. He couldn't really disclose that or wasn't disclosing it. What do you think that displays about this process?
Well, this letter is dated 1st of August 2010. On the 4th of August 2010, the former Lord Mayor also asked a question in a public forum to Christina Kennedy about this same issue. There was nothing planned for the Parramatta Epping to Parramatta rail link. Now, if that's didn't happen on the 1st of August and the 4th of August, and now all of a sudden on the 10th of August, this announcement is made. Can we believe it? I hope we can. I really do. Because Western Sydney really needs this kind of infrastructure that it so desperately needs.
This was a private letter between you and the Minister. Was it released this publicly?
This letter, I don't see this letter as a private letter. This letter is just part of the ongoing discussions and lobbying we have with both state government and federal government. We just want the infrastructure that we really need for Western Sydney. And we've been asking, lobbying, championing this for 12 years. And hopefully, we might actually get it. The question is really, can we believe this proposal?
Are you disappointed that the coalition hasn't listed this as a priority? Tony Abbott and Joe Hockey have been asked about this since the Labor announcement, and they're not offering any guarantees that this will be built, whereas Labor is.
Well, it's still a few more days before the federal election, so who knows what will actually happen?
Do you know something we don't?
I don't know. I don't know. You'll have to ask my federal colleagues about that.
But are you disappointed at this stage that there is no guarantee from them?
Well, the last 10 days has shown some terrific changes in federal Labor. Who knows what could happen in the next 9 days before the federal election? We don't know.
Would you be hoping or asking the federal coalition to make a similar commitment?
I'm hoping that the federal government and the state government, whoever gets into government, will deliver this particular much-needed infrastructure.
Okay, Chiang Lim, thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.